friends, back to another episode of The Way of Wonder, a YouTube podcast where Father Patrick Schultz and I explore great art. We let it bombard us. We let ourselves marinate in the beauty of the art, and we just kind of talk about what it stirs in us. And so our mission really in this Way of Wonder is to draw you, the viewer, into it as well, to give us that pause in our day that we all need. Because as Dostoevsky, the great Russian author, said, in the end, beauty will save the world. Speaking of beauty, here comes Father Patrick. Happy Christmas. How you doing, Father Pat?
Happy Christmas to you, buddy. I'm great. I like the green sweater. It's festive.
Yeah, we got to stay festive in these days. You know, Christmas doesn't end at midnight on Christmas Day. I mean, Catholics, we keep going. The party keeps going, right?
It's only just beginning. That's the thing that drove me nuts growing up. You see, like Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, people got their Christmas trees chucked out on the front lawn. You're like, we just started.
Yeah, and there's nothing more tragic than seeing it so suddenly, like this tree thrown on the curbside like a carcass, and it's just like, oh, it's already. Meanwhile, on the other end, Christmas decorations are for sale at like Home Depot on November 1st. It's like, can you guys push it to the other way?
Yeah.
You know, prolong the feast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here.
There's something. Yeah, whatever. I'm about to give my thoughts on that.
Thomas, can we start over again? We're going to start over and be happy.
No.
Anyway, what a great time to be alive.
This
is the great season. This is the feast of feasts. So it's beautiful. We've been really enjoying everyone tuning in and dropping their comments again and sharing. And please keep sharing stuff. Share these episodes if you are struck by the art and the beauty. Pass it around with friends, and we just love it. So, Father Patrick, you're up today. You're gonna throw something at me, and you said it's gonna be different or surprising or something mysterious.
Well, it's just who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know. So the piece of art. I want to start with the quote. I know last time you did art, then wove in the quote. I want to start with the quote, and it's from, and maybe we can talk about this for just a hot minute, from this publication from the Institute.
I'm familiar with
from this book, God is Beauty. How about you say a word or two about this real quick before I share the quote? Because I think it's not. We're beyond stocking stuffers at this point, but it's a great gift to give somebody, or to buy for yourself.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for that little plug. I didn't know this was coming. So that God is Beauty is a retreat given to artists by Bishop Karol Wojtyła back in 1962. And it's discovered, Christopher West was reading a book and found a footnote and discovered this retreat, and that it had not been translated into English. So we got approval from the Vatican to do that. And it's actually the first book of our TOB Institute press arm. First of many books, we hope. And it just got released not too long ago, and we're really excited. I'm excited that you're going to quote from it.
Yeah. So let's dive into this quote. So this comes from the beginning of the book, and Bishop Wojtyła, he shares this anecdote, this memory. So mind you, right? So we just celebrated we're in the midst of still celebrating the great feast of the Incarnation, right? The great feast of the Incarnation. So Bishop Wojtyła, he says this. He goes, I'm reminded of the day when I wandered for many hours around the Baths of Diocletian in Rome. I encountered the masterpieces of ancient Greek sculpture there. That was a very laborious day. I took great pains and noticed with what immense effort all those people, those great masters of sculpture, had sought to demonstrate perfect, absolute beauty in the human body. I'm going to hit pause right there. And let's throw up the image that I have for us. I think it's an image you're probably familiar with.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So this is it's called I don't even know how to pronounce it, discobolos? The discus thrower.
Right.
Discus chucker. So it was discovered near I have it right here. It was discovered near Hadrian's Villa. So it goes back to the 4th, 5th century, somewhere in that BC. So Bishop Wojtyła, he's relating this memory of walking around the Baths of Diocletian. If you've been in Rome, you've seen these ancient Greco-Roman statues, things of this nature. You'd see things like this, and he's just taking it in and he's thinking about it, right? And so, just as before I continue the quote, I just want to get your thoughts on just like this image itself, the memory that he's relating, and then I know you know where the quote's going, but I want to start with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ancient Greek sculptures. Actually, there's just the composition, the way his leg and his arm sort of mirror each other. There's this sweeping motion, and this twist. When you do figurative art, they talk about contrapposto, where there's this balancing of different directions. It's just really smooth. So visually, aesthetically, I love this work, and it's arresting because it's a beautiful body, it's a beautiful form. So it makes you pause and look at it. So yeah, and just the glow of it too. I mean, that it's carved in this beautiful white marble. It's arresting, I think.
And everything about it is just the idealized form, right? Like it's the idealized athlete, it's the idealized masculinity. Like it's just everything's in perfect proportion. We could go down a rabbit hole and talk about the golden ratio that you could just you could do it. You could write a doctoral dissertation on the golden ratio, and that's just like present in this sculpture itself. But it's like it's the attempt to put perfection into marble, right?
Yeah.
It's stunning. It's so cool.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
I think mission accomplished in many ways, right? Because because the detail, and if we could really zoom in and look at all the musculature and the form of it, it's not haphazard. It's not like, I wonder what a person looks like. This person, thank you, Thomas. This artist has contemplated to the last detail. Musculature, skeletal form, hair. Look at the hair carved out of marble. Good grief, look at that. Yeah. Just, the ribs, where all
awesome.
things, that's hours and hours of contemplative gaze, a contemplative gaze on the form, which God made, right? This is a sub-creator who's creating in the way in which he was created. We were all created. And how can you not get inspired because you're looking at a one-off of what God designed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cool shot.
Wow.
All right. So let me keep going with this quote because this is where Bishop Wojtyła takes it. All right. Let me just back up. He says, I took great pains and noticed with what immense effort all those people, those great masters of sculpture, had sought to demonstrate perfect, absolute beauty in the human body. That's what we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, they had been seeking the Incarnation. After this walk of many hours, it took such a great effort to spend time with that ancient pagan art. He says this, I understood the gospel anew. Let's just pause on that. Like that by itself is so cool. That by itself is so cool that like studying pagan art, this bishop who's going to become St. John Paul II, Pope St. John Paul II, contemplating this ancient pagan statuary, I understood the gospel anew.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah. So again, that goes back to this whole I know we've had a lot of sacred images, sacred art, like Christians, explicitly Christian art that we've been looking at, but it's all available. It all speaks of him. Like it all somehow is a touch point to him,
Yes. In both directions. Right. It goes all the way back to antiquity, all the way to the future, to everything ever made. It's somehow, he's touched, infiltrated the world. Every molecule, right, is made holy. Everything is holy.
Yeah. Like I have a buddy who loves the Cleveland Museum of Art, which is phenomenal. I took you there.
Yeah, I remember that. That was awesome.
And he only loves going to the Christian art section. Like he just doesn't care to see the other stuff. And I'm like, dude, there's so, I agree. All that stuff is so beautiful, but there's other beautiful things. And like, he is beauty, you know? Anyway,
Right. Right.
anyway. All right.
Send him
So
this
he
quote. Send
understands the
him this quote.
gospel. I should. I understood the gospel better. And I understood the gospel anew, and I understood it better. That's audacious. Okay.
Yeah.
I understood that what had been the subject of this search for absolute, impeccably perfect beauty in the human body, like this statue, that was the beauty which did indeed become incarnate in the gospel. God who became man, God who revealed himself because he appeared in the flesh. Together with his presence, he brought with him an entire special world of beauty. Beauty that is peculiar to himself, beauty which is identical with him, just as he is identical with beauty. Whoo, mama.
Yeah. Appropriate response, Father Pat. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing, to say I understood the gospel and I understood it better by going backwards, by going deep into antiquity, pre-Christian era. They were seeking, always seeking. I mean, yeah, it's mind-blowing. And to your point earlier, it gives us permission, as the Catholic Church has done, right? As great theologians and thinkers and philosophers have done, like, let me dip into these other cultures and find him and the thirst for him. I love that. Everything is holy. Everything can be somehow sanctified, you know? Outside of pure morbidity, but everything can be holy.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's what's been rocking me with like that quote, that reflection, this sculpture, Christmas. Like, it's a crazy thing, but this is what we claim, that beauty himself, not beauty itself, but beauty himself was born. Like, that's what's lying in the manger. Beauty incarnate. Like, and that's
yeah. Give me a minute. Right, to wrap our hearts and brains around that. Yeah, how long can we go here? Yeah, because it's one of those things where you can what you just said, you should keep saying over and over again. You know, it's like one of those. You know, God loves me. Let me say that again for the rest of my life every day. God loves me, because I'll never actually completely comprehend it. Beauty himself took on a body. This is getting me thinking. Like, I just my little Kagan, my 7-year-old, is he's kind of he's still in the wonder stage of everything, and asks those deep philosophical questions. But he was sitting in the mirror, looking in the mirror the other day, just like combing his hair, and he's just like doing it for a while, and you can see that he's sort of like exploring himself, but just like explore ourselves, our hair, our fingernails, individual fingerprints that are so unique, like contemplating a hand. Something like this artist, just so slowly, and it's not in a rush at all, but this is where the ribs are, this is the sternum, this is the mandibula, whatever it is, like every part. Wow. And then like the word, and then we come in and say the word became flesh and dwelt among us. He had biceps and fingernails and eyelashes and earlobes, like divine earlobes. It's insane to dwell in every part of it, and to realize this is why I think why the angels just must like lose their minds, if that's possible, staggered by this word who has become flesh.
Yeah.
Either completely scandalized and rejecting it, that's the demons, or being so enraptured at this crazy God of love that they worship and choose light and love, and now have become our messengers and our servants in some ways, the angels. They're in the middle of it all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just beyond comprehension. Like it's easy enough to say the word became flesh. The logos became flesh. but like what we're claiming, right, is that so 5th century BC, you have this sculptor, Miron, I guess is his name, um, who's painstakingly like trying to put beauty, like perfection, the perfection of the human form. He's trying to put it into matter.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to do that, right? He's trying to put, and like we said, like he did in many ways. Like it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's ostensibly perfect. Like what Wojtyła's reflection there is that intuition of all of those great artists and masters, it's like they were prophets of the Incarnation. They didn't even know it. Like that it
Prophets.
was like what this was prophesying, that perfection and beauty would be in matter, happened. And it happened in the most staggering way. Like that is not what the infant Christ looks like,
Right.
you know? Nor is it, when you look at the end of his life, when you see the full like revelation of beauty himself, he's unfurled on the cross. He's a man of horrors. Like Isaiah says, we can't even look upon him.
Right.
Like it's just like part of me was like, I don't know if I should use this quote or use this image because I'm not sure if I'll have actual words.
I
just
love
be
that.
like,
Yeah. We're going to now pause this episode and just make a holy hour, and we'll be back after these messages, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get over, a few episodes ago, we were looking at that one painting of Mary and Joseph and Jesus lying in that manger with that glow.
Yeah.
It's like, that is like, that's the scandal of Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the scandal at the heart of Christianity, that it really became flesh, that he didn't just hover over our matter, but he entered into the beauty himself entered into the matter, which means that like everything, like as Albacete had said, Monsignor Lorenzo Albacete, everything which my heart seeks,
Yeah.
like fullness of beauty, fullness of life, fullness of love, like fullness, the infinite, like it's revealed itself in the flesh.
I love that you chose this image and the quote. I know, I love it because this is, I mean, if anything in this whole series we're doing here is, this is the touchstone right here. This is the point. Yeah. I think, right? And so, just tarry here for a bit, like the rest of your life, because you can't exhaust this amazing wonder. You can't exhaust it. You can never exhaust it. And I love it. We should be gazing on this and all great art, especially figurative art, and then like look at ourselves and just, like let yourself get gobsmacked by this reality. Because as we kind of allude to, and we teach it in the Institute all the time, is there's this demonic attack on this flesh, this body, that like matter doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can mix it up, change it, whatever, or get rid of it. The real me isn't even in this. This is just, crude stuff. But no, it isn't. He comes in, he takes it on, and will never take it off. Like that's the other thing that always amazes me, is that the Word has become flesh, not for 33 years, but forever. Like Jesus Christ incarnate forever. For all eternity. He will never disrobe himself of our flesh. He will never say, I'm done with that now. Back to, God has become flesh forever. That is another thought that can just rock your world. And I think change the way you look at yourself and you look at every other body, everybody that you see. I've been studying TOB for 22 years intently, and that's still, I feel like I'm just on the shore of it, just at the sandbar of the ocean of the beauty of what it actually is and means. Personally, my own embodiment, my own humanity, my wife, my kids, my students, the people I meet, everybody. You can't exhaust this mystery.
Yeah, the mystery of his humility in this is just staggering, right? Like, I mean, that's even this statue, this sculpture, like it's not going to sweat. It's not going to smell ever. It's not going to get tired. It's not going to have like a fingernail chip off. like,
Yeah.
but a body, like the word, it's not the word made stone, it's the word made flesh.
Right. Vulnerable.
Like what does that say about his humility? Like this high dive into the depths of nothingness that he's willing to go to bring us back. I can't even comprehend that. And what does that say about what does it mean to be human? That we're capable, like our flesh is capable of manifesting, being, it's capable of God, right? Capax Dei. It's capable of
Right.
it's capable of the incarnation. Ah, don't
Yeah.
get
Everybody watching right now, just pause and go somewhere with the Lord with this whole thing. Because that's what we want to do right now. The flesh is the hinge of salvation, right? That's Tertullian.
Yeah.
Tertullian, I think. Early,
Yeah.
Irenaeus, maybe early 2nd century.
No, that's Tertullian.
Tertullian. The flesh is the hinge of salvation. In the Old Testament, right? A body you have prepared for me. Alluding to Jesus' incarnation is coming. A body you have prepared for me. Christmas, the feast of it. Yeah.
The body's made for the body. The body's made for the Lord is for the body.
Yeah. St. Paul.
I guess, like, I don't know what our axio is other than just like go lay down somewhere and try and take this and go read John's. Maybe it should be this. We should reread the prologue of the Gospel of John.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. Do that, everybody, including us.
Do that.
Go do it. Well,
and maybe a thing to remember too is like when we hear that the word logos, another way to put it is ultimate beauty, which is what we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
Beauty became flesh and dwelt among us.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Sheesh.
I feel like this is the most speechless we've been. We're just sort of like, yeah, yeah, what?
Yeah. I've just been like shaking my head.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a seizure over here.
I love, thank you, Thomas. I love that we're getting this sort of movement around too.
Yeah, good job, Thomas. You're crushing it.
He is. And that we should also, I'm struck by this, like reading John's prologue again, but also reading everybody that the rest of my day. It's just, this is the part where Theology of the Body becomes hilarious because you start looking at everybody differently because we're all in this. This is constitutive of all of us, everything we're talking about. So, the lady at the front desk at BlackRock or the person if I stop at a deli and get a sandwich, like everybody I'm going to see, if you open the door to this wonder, you start looking at them differently. And we're not ready for this glory, right? We're just not ready for this. People aren't ready to be seen in this light, including starting with ourselves, but to start looking at other people this way. And do you realize who you are?
Yeah.
No, I gotta go. I gotta go. No, don't go. Wait a minute. Do you realize who you are?
Yeah.
Sweet. Who's the artist again? The sculptor? Because I didn't know that we could.
I can't. What I found online was Myron. Myron.
Wow, love it. God bless.
I think I said 5th century. This is 2nd century. I misspoke.
AD. Okay, BC, right?
BC.
Well, that artist, Myron, like, God bless you, because that's a real guy growing up in some village in Greece who was trained and gave his gifts to the God whose name he did not know exactly. And look at us 2,000 plus years later, looking at the work of this guy's calloused hands, this real actual guy from some remote.
Yeah.
That also, that's why heaven's going to not be boring at all. Like, we're just going to be, there he is, Neron's here. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
It's staggering. All right.
You like my work?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
You saw it? It survived? Yes, it survives. Actually, his work will survive longer than YouTube, probably. I mean, yeah.
Probably.
May it live another 1,000 years. Thank you, Father Pat.
Oh, man, you're welcome. I thought this was a good octave of Christmas,
Yeah,
incarnation, reflection.
it is, for sure.
Yeah.
Christmas, in many ways, is the feast of theology of the body, right?
Oh,
Because here is the body he has been prepared. Well, dear friends on the internets, thank you for tuning in again with Father Pat and I walking down this road. It's a walk sometimes, but sometimes you just stand still on this road, on this way of beauty. You got to just stand there and gaze. So put in the comment section below what's moved you perhaps in this particular image, or what things got stirred. And are there great sculptures that you've seen, maybe in your studies, your walks, your travels, that have moved you? Sculptures, figurative art, because wow, these are wonders and gifts, because they center on the human person. All right, well, we'll see you next week for another episode. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. God bless.